Hello students, hope you all are doing well. In the last class we have studied about the male reproductive system. So today we'll start with female reproductive system. Okay, so in female reproductive system there are primary parts and there are secondary parts. So first we'll see the different parts. The main part we all know is the ovary. There is a pair, one pair of ovaries which are almond shaped, and they are not much big, 8 centimeter and 8 centimeter long and 5 centimeter wide. So these ovaries are the primary sex organs. So first we'll see the different parts, then we'll see the internal structure of the ovary. So the three parts are the primary sex organ, primary sex organ, which we know are the ovaries, one pair of ovaries. Then there will be organs which are helping the ovaries, those are secondary sex organs. So secondary sex organs will be the uterus, the fallopian tube, two fallopian tubes, and the vagina. Okay, these are the secondary, and there will certainly be certain glands. So those you have to know the names of the glands. The Bartholin's gland, and also very important, the mammary glands, which are the breast. Okay. So this is the structure of the female reproductive system. You have this structure in your NCERT book also. Here, this is just a representation. You can look to the diagram from your book also. So here we'll see the different parts. These two are the ovaries. I have already told you. The next part. The ovary is where the egg, the female egg, will be formed. Then the next part, this part is the fallopian tube. So this part will be again divided into two parts. This lower part is the ampulla, and this upper part is the isthmus. ISTHMUS, isthmus. Okay, then this part here, in the ampulla, the lower part is known as infundibulum. Then this, the structure that you are seeing, these are the fimbriae. What will the fimbriae do? The fimbriae will help in moving the egg from the ovary. Okay. Then the ovary will first be formed, the egg will first be formed in the ovary. It will go to the fallopian tube. It will cross the fallopian tube and it will enter this structure, which is the uterus. Okay. This is where the implantation will occur. So this is the uterus part. Mark this. This is the uterus. Then this upper part, this part of the uterus is known as fundus, and this middle part is the body. Okay. Next, the uterus one thing you have to remember is the uterus, I told you, this is the site for implantation. This ampulla is site for fertilization. In ampulla, fertilization will occur. Fertilization when the sperm will mix with the egg, okay, or will meet the egg. Then fertilization will occur in ampulla. And in uterus, implantation of the embryo will occur, or the zygote. Okay. So this uterus is composed of three walls. the outer wall is known as perimetrium. Perimetrium, and this wall is fibrous in nature. The outer wall is perimetrium, it is fibrous in nature. The middle wall, this part is myometrium, and this is muscular. It is composed of muscles. And the inner wall, this one, this is the endometrium. This is endometrium, this is vascular. Okay, remember the uterus is composed of three walls: perimetrium, myometrium, and the inner one is endometrium. Then this, at the end of the uterus, after all the processes are over, when the baby has to come out, it has to come out through an opening. So this part is known as cervix, and this opening that is there, this is the vulva. Okay. So cervix also has an internal orifice, an internal opening, external opening that you can see in your NCERT book also. Just know that this part is cervix and the opening is known as vulva. The vulva is present in the vagina. I told you the secondary organ of female is vagina. This vulva will be present in the vagina region. So vagina will be here. Okay, and what is the function of vagina? Vagina will act as birth canal. Along with birth canal, it will act as an organ where sperms will be deposited. Deposition of sperms. So that is the function of the birth canal. So this is a representation of the female reproductive system. You have to know about these parts and their functions. Then one more thing, this vulva, this will have a membrane. Vulva has a membrane in it. This membrane is known as hymen. You must have heard of this. Hymen is a membrane which is present in virgin females. Okay, so once the female has lost their virginity, this hymen will be ruptured. So this hymen will be present only in virgin females. Just remember that. Then this is the female reproductive system. Ovary is the primary sex organ. So now we'll see the internal structure of ovary. Internal structure of ovary. So this almond shaped ovary, I'm drawing it a little bit bigger here. Okay, so we'll see what is inside. Once the egg is formed in the ovary, it will be surrounded by certain follicles like this. So this is known as the primary follicle. Okay, this is the primary follicle. As time passes, this primary follicle, every month one primary follicle will grow. Okay, means the egg will be formed, a number of primary follicles are formed, but only one primary follicle will grow every month. Okay, not all, only one primary follicle will grow to be the secondary oocyte which helps in fertilization. So this primary follicle, as time passes, will become a bit bigger to form the secondary follicle. Then this secondary follicle will again become bigger to form tertiary follicle. This tertiary follicle will change to what we call is the Graafian follicle. The Graafian follicle is bigger. Okay, so the Graafian follicle is bigger. This Graafian follicle, this is the Graafian follicle. This Graafian follicle has a cell inside it. This is nothing but the secondary oocyte. This secondary oocyte is what changes to the egg. This is the secondary oocyte. Then, after the Graafian follicle forms, what will come is the stage which is known as ovulation. What is ovulation? This Graafian follicle or secondary oocyte cannot always remain inside the Graafian follicle. It has to come out. So this release of the secondary oocyte from the Graafian follicle is known as ovulation. So here this follicle will be ruptured. Secondary oocyte will come out. It will consist of this membranes. The secondary oocyte will come out. So ovulation is done, and this ruptured follicle is known as corpus hemorrhagium. Corpus hemorrhagium. HAEMORRHAGIUM. Corpus hemorrhagium. Okay. Then after this, the corpus hemorrhagium will change to another structure, a very important structure, which is known as corpus luteum. Okay. Why is the corpus luteum important? Because this corpus luteum acts as a temporary endocrine gland. So since it is an endocrine gland, it will release some hormone. This corpus luteum will release progesterone. Corpus luteum releases progesterone. So this is an important part of the cycle. Okay. So next, this corpus luteum. See, if fertilization occurs, this will again change to a different structure. But if there is no fertilization, copulation did not occur, sperms are not received, no fertilization occurs. So if no fertilization occurs, this corpus luteum will again degenerate and change to corpus albicans. This degenerates. Okay. So one more thing, this outer wall of the ovary, this is known as tunica albuginea. This name we also got in the male reproductive system, the protective layer. Okay, this is tunica albuginea, and there is a second layer, this part. This is the cortex, and this middle part is the medulla. Okay, so and one more thing, this Graafian follicle, you can also see in your book, this Graafian follicle will have a cavity. This cavity, this white part, this cavity is known as antrum. It is a fluid-filled cavity. It has fluid in it. Okay. So this is the internal structure of ovary. What happens in it? A primary follicle will always grow every month to form the secondary follicle, to tertiary, to Graafian follicle. Graafian follicle consists of the secondary oocyte. This secondary oocyte will undergo ovulation, means it will be released, and the rest part will be corpus hemorrhagium. The corpus hemorrhagium will change to corpus luteum, which secretes progesterone. When no fertilization occurs, this corpus luteum changes to corpus albicans, which degenerate. Okay, so this cycle we'll study again when we study the menstrual cycle. Okay, so here this ovulation, we know it occurs on the 14th day of the menstrual cycle. So after that the secondary oocyte releases. So again in menstrual cycle we'll know the different days when what occurs when along with the hormones. So that we'll study later. For now you just have to know the female reproductive system and internal structure of ovary. I hope this is clear. So the next part is you have to know about the different glands also. So now the glands. Yes, we'll study one more structure, which is the vulva. The external genitalia of female. External genitalia of female is the vulva. Let's see the structure. So the vulva will have an outer membrane, which is the labia majora, inner membrane, which is labia minora. This is the outer fold, this is the inner fold. Then there will be another fold. This is the vestibule. Now we'll see what structures are present inside. So this part is known as mons pubis. Mons pubis, why? Because here the pubic hair is present. So this is mons pubis. This is the prepuce. This is known as prepuce. There will be a structure present here. This is the clitoris. Like the males have a penis, this is the clitoris. Clitoris is homologous to penis in males. Then this vestibule part has two openings. This has two openings. This is the urethral opening for the urine to pass. This is the vaginal opening. Okay. So alongside the vaginal opening, here are two glands. This is the Bartholin's gland. And here in the vaginal opening, I told you the membrane will be present in virgin females. This is the hymen. So this is the structure of the external genitalia in females. Here what you have to remember is this clitoris is homologous to penis in males. Labia majora, this part, outer part, is homologous to scrotum in males. Then Bartholin's gland is homologous to Cowper's gland in males. Then along with this, the next part is mammary glands. The structure of mammary gland or breast I will not draw here. You have it in your NCERT book properly. Go through the structure. So the mammary glands are tubulosecular modified sweat glands. Okay, these are sweat glands, which has lactiferous glands. Sweat glands which has lactiferous glands, and first these mammary glands will develop at puberty of the female, and further enlargement occurs during pregnancy. Okay, that part you have in your book, you can see from there. And what is the function of the mammary gland? It will produce milk for nutrition of the newborn baby. The mammary gland will produce milk for nutrition of the newborn baby. Okay, so this part is the female reproductive system. Next we have the hormonal control of both male and female reproductive system. Okay.